What's up, everyone? This is Tatum. I'm back with another episode of Fuck This Review. Where today, I'm continuing my new voyage of discovering new music and listening to some classic albums that I just wasn't privy to before. So today, I'm going to be reviewing Queen: A Night at the Opera. I've seen what's the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, but like I still didn't go back and dig into the catalog besides Bohemian Rhapsody. Like that song's just amazing. So I wanted to start with one of their albums that from my research, it seems like it's their magnum opus. Is one of their great albums. The album dropped in the winter of 1975. It's the band's fourth album. From my research, it says it was the most expensive album to record, like in that time. I'm pretty sure some artists that probably went over their budget by now. But it's their first album to go platinum within the States. They work with Roy Thomas Baker, who helped produce the album, and it sounds freaking amazing. It's their first album without their manager they had up until that point. I guess, like, from what I read, and I'll get into it once I get into the first track, but they didn't make any money from their first three albums. Like, they were, like, broke. Like, I'm looking at the movie, I was like, I don't remember that being in the movie, but maybe I need to watch it again. But they were like completely broke, and they had to change their managers. They went through they were gonna go with Zeppelin's manager and Elton John's manager, and they were gonna go with Zeppelin's manager, but he wanted to sign to Zeppelin's label, and he thought that they thought that Zeppelin would be his number one priority, which would probably be true. But it's just crazy that a band, I guess the album before this one kind of like blew up. They had a hit single in there, but it's just unfortunate when musicians just don't get paid what they're supposed to get paid, and like it's just frustrating as an artist and an artist lover. But let's get into it. The first song is Death on Two Legs, dedicated to ... and it's like a diss record to their ex-manager. Like, they literally, Freddie Mercury just like really goes on them during the whole record, and it starts with like this delicate piano, which I loved, and then turns dark really fast. Like, and he just start like unleashing on the managers. And I read somewhere that some of the band members felt kind of iffy singing it. I don't know why. Like, this guy's been ripping you off for all your money and blah blah blah. I guess probably just that's just not for everybody. Like, you kind of probably leave a bad taste in your mouth. But it turns into this clever rock song that is just fucking amazing. I love the transition on here. It kind of fucked me up, like, because it was so many layers to this record, just musically wise. Like, it start out here slow, hard, soft, and then it go to like this mellow state. It's like so many moments within just the music and how the music's playing itself that it was like a mindfuck, for lack of better words. And I know the ex-manager, I didn't do any research on like what he did after Queen, but for this album to come out after that, and this is like their magnum opus, and he didn't even have a part of it. It was one story I read that one of the band members couldn't even get an advance to buy a house after he got married, and that was like the final straw. And their new manager just told him, like, just go in the studio and make the best album you possibly can. And I think, like, I'll get to my review and everything, but this album is just pretty fucking amazing. So to start it off with that, it's just like a big fuck you to the ex-manager and things of that nature is pretty cool. Just me being an artist and just artist rebellion, and finally we finally get to get what we're owed in a way. And I just thought that was good. Just like, it's kind of a new beginning. And then to flow into Lazy on Sunday Afternoon, it kind of, to me, that's where the album kind of starts, because it's like Death on Two Legs, and so, like, for lack of better words, abruptly, and then it goes into Lazy on a Sunday Afternoon, and it's like this joyful kind of record. It's nice. It's the total opposite of what the intro track was. So I was like, with second songs in the album, like, it's always like, I look at intros, and the first song on albums is like let's say you're watching an action movie and they always start with like a big car chase or something like crazy to grab your attention, and then the next scenes after that is like, okay, now we're gonna tell the story. Like, so I always look at music like that and albums like that. So to go on a lazy Sunday afternoon, I think was a perfect song after the intro. It brings you back to reality to get into the album. I love that vocal effect. I love that vocal effect they put on there. It kind of reminds me of some like Paul McCartney records or something like that. The vocal effect and just the playfulness within the vocal, like it kind of reminded me of some Paul McCartney stuff. But I really love that record too. I'm in love with my car. Record 3 is like that switch from lazy on a Sunday afternoon is amazing, bro. Like, so this far, only 3 records in, like I fucking love this album already. Like, the transitions are fucking amazing. Like, I know I keep cursing, but the transitions are amazing. Just how every record's ended and it's falling right into the other one, or it ends abruptly. Sometimes I didn't even know it switched. It's just pretty cool. That song starts off in like this softness kind of way, but then it goes into this hard record. And to me, this is kind of crazy, but to me, it's kind of too good to be a song just about a car. Like if you listen to the record, and I know if you're watching this, you probably listened to that record 1,000 times already, but the record just seems too good to just be talking about a car, because it's literally just about a car, but it just sounds it's too great for me. Like, it could have been a great love song. I guess it is a love song like dedicated to a car, but the vocal performance on there I think was beautiful and perfect. And the song speaks of Roger's love for his car and it was also a dedication to the band's roadie, Jonathan Harris. I think that was his name. Yeah, I think that was his name. And he had an obsession with cars, for lack of a better word. So this song was like a dedication to himself and to the roadie who just had an obsession with cars. And I was just thinking like, wow, it's another song on here I'll get into as well that I think but it's like, damn, back then they were just trying to make different records. I'm not sure what I mean by that is they were making records that were just not your typical, here's my love song, here's my hard rock song. It was like, I want to make a song about my love for cars. Just those type of things and effort always makes me like I can't even say miss because I wasn't born yet, but it makes me just like, damn, I wish I was born in that time just so I could like live through, I don't know, the greatness, for lack of better words. That's what I'm going to say. Just so I can live through the greatness. That goes into You My Best Friend, classic record. I don't even have to say much about that. I've been hearing that record my whole life. It's funny, I didn't even know I knew so many lyrics to that record until it started playing. And I was singing the lyrics verbatim. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know I knew this. Like, it was in my subconscious for, I guess, my whole life. Like, ooh, you make me live. Like, you're my best friend. Like, I see it on commercials. I see it movies, shows. Like, it's always been prevalent in my life. And it was written by the band's bass player, John Deacon. He wrote the song about his wife. So that made it even more cooler because listening to it growing up, I didn't give this much attention to it, but I thought it was just like, I don't know, about your best friend. But I guess, when you're in love, your spouse is supposed to be your best friend. It usually is your best friend. So it's pretty dope that song. It's dope also that it was like most of the band members were writing records for the band. And you rarely got that. Like, it's usually when bands come out, they have their writers. It's going to be him, like, or both. It's never like majority of the band is writing records and writing hit records. And I just think that was a cool Easter egg and gem I found out about the band. So I was like, it made me enjoy the band more. It made me respect them as a band of just how respectful they were of each other. Like, I trust you to write a record. I trust you to write a record. I trust you to write a record. Like, you rarely got that. And I think, and you make a song like You're My Best Friend, like, what if they were one of those bands that was like, nah, you're just a bass player. We're going to write the songs over here. You just play the bass. Like, it could have been easily one of those. So the fact that didn't happen, it's pretty fucking cool. 39, it was written by Brian May, who had a bachelor's in science and physics from Imperial College, and he gained his PhD as well. He's like, I'm in one of the greatest bands ever, and I also got this degree in this. But got his PhD in astrophysics, and from the same institution. And this song is pretty much about that. Like, it's very like again, this is the song I was referring to when I was talking about I Love My Car. Is like he made a song that was like space like and a love. It was like it's kind of difficult to say, but it's kind of like a love space record kind of way. And the song is essentially about a pioneer who's searching for another planet to colonize. That's what the song was about. Like that's kind of crazy if you think about it. Like it's just kind of dope. But it's also dope that he wrote, I guess, his life. Like that was something he was interested in and he wrote about it. And I think that's pretty fucking cool. The instrumental break is so fucking dope. Their voices when they reach that high pitch, I think Queen has like, from the song that I heard from Bohemian Rhapsody. I know it took so long for them to get those vocals together for that song, but when they go into these high pitched vocals, like I always think, how much time did it take for you guys to nail those vocals so perfectly? And you guys were so in sync vocally. Like it's like what they were doing is not just like a walk in the park that you could just do and bet your eye at. It's like really takes greatness and practice and things of that nature. So I appreciate him for that. And it just matches that high pitch match this song perfectly. And I also like the acoustic feel of that record. I have a thing for when bands just throw the acoustic record in there. It like breaks the monotony of what's going on around it. Sweet Lady, Roger said it was dope record, cool record. Roger said it's one of the hardest songs Roger, the drummer, said it's hard. One of the hardest songs to play live for him. I don't know, not sure if that was how long that went on, but he said it was one of the hardest songs to play live. Great love song, and they go crazy at around the 240 mark, and the guitar's just going off, and then the drums come in and just start going off. It's just a nasty combination in a great way. Seaside Rendezvous, I thought was a pretty cool record. I like how they use their voices as instruments on the bridge. That has that old school feel to it. The mixing is incredible on this, not just on this record, but for the whole album. But by the time I got to this record, it hit me like, damn, this mixing is really, really good. Like whoever mixed and mastered this album, just to have like vocals pinning from back and forth, or have the instrument over here and everything so clear. And again, I listened to the remaster version just to hear things a little bit more clear. So I don't know, I should go back and listen to the regular version, but just to hear how it was mixed was so great. Like that's one of the things that stood out to me. And it's a quirky record, bro. Like he has a line to say, you say you have to tell your daddy if you can, I'll be your Valentino. But he say Valentino in such a great way. The vocal performance that they did is just at the end of like the ad libs coming in like woohoo, like and just how he was playing with the flow of like I'll be your Valentino. Like he ends the line at like you say you have to tell your daddy you can, and then it like blends with that I'll be your Valentino, and just it not threw me off, but it made me like, it stood out to me. I was like, damn, they're really like doing some amazing shit with their vocals and just flow of their vocals and lyrics. I thought that was just magical. The Prophet song, to start with the acoustic guitar, I didn't know what I was getting into. I thought I was just gonna get into like, a rock acoustic guitar kind of record, a slow record, and it suddenly changes extremely. And that song is just tough, man. The beat switches, the melodies, the vocals, the story. I love everything about that record. It has that constant marching feel to it. And my thought when I heard it was just like, this had to be great at concerts. And then they go into like this 2-minute acapella of just it's towards the end, but it's in the middle of the record. But it goes into this acapella of just vocals, and like he's singing and it echoes and it echoes, and then one's pinging from the left, one's pinging from the right, and it's just like, whoa, this is like, what were they thinking when they made this record? Like, just to go so artistic with it, and because I'm pretty sure that could have turned some people off, but it was so great that it was just like, especially in 75. That's why I go back again into the mixing of the record, and then to bring the whole song back after a 2-minute acapella of you just riffing with vocals, and you bring the whole beat back and then continue the record. Fucking dope, man. Love of My Life. That song is sad but beautiful. Freddie Mercury wrote it about, let me say this before I get in that. When I first heard it, it kind of reminded me of Bohemian a little bit, like just the way he was singing on it, and that electric guitar at the end is fucking amazing. But he wrote the song about Mary Austin. I kind of remember from the movie. He had a long time relationship with her. It's just a great love record, like an in love record. Well, in as in indie, like one of those kind of love records, and it's just dope. Like, but like I said, it's sad but beautiful. And I found out that they remained friends after that, like after they broke up, and I saw the movie. So I think she just knew maybe he couldn't love her the way all the way she wanted to, for lack of better words. That's just from the movie. That could just be them doing movie stuff. But they remained friends after the fact. She became his assistant after the fact. And when he died, she, like in his will, she got most of it. Like she got the majority of his will, like when he passed away. So I thought that was, well, the bulk of his estate. Let me just say that. She got the bulk of his estate when he passed. And I thought that was it just shows you how close of a friends in love they actually were. Like even after all that, like to still be his assistant and still love him and he still loved her. And it's just a magical love story in a way. And then she ends up with the bulk of his estate to this day. So it's like, great love record, man. Great love record. Good Company. That song is about, when I was first listening to it, I was like, oh, he lost his, I could be wrong, but this is what I interpret. Oh, he lost his friends because he found a girl and got married. That's what I got. And then the song went on, and then he lost the girl because he worked so much. Like, and the song is just about basically working so hard and losing everything in the process, as far as your friends and family and wife, and you just end up alone as a workhorse. And that's just not, it's just not I don't know, a great place to be in life. At the end of it all, like, you do all this work and then you lose everyone, and it's just unnecessary. That one also reminds me of a Beatles, Paul McCartney kind of record. I wonder who their influences were. Like I said again, I didn't do so much back history on it, but if you know who their influences were or interviews, just put it in the comments and I'll look at it. Goes into Bohemian Rhapsody, and it's really not much more I could say about the record that has been done. I think it's one of the greatest records of all time, if not the greatest records of all time. I remember the first time I heard it, I was watching as a kid Wayne's World. Like when they're in the car and they all like taking turns singing the part. Like that's the first time I heard that record. And once I get older and older and go back and listen to it, and just to listen to how great that music is and how it starts so slow, and like it's one of those records again. It's like it's records in my life that I wish that I seen live, for lack of better words. Like it's record. This is one of the ones I wish I seen in concert. Just to start off with that dark piano, and you could just see Freddie. To me, it just seems like Freddie Mercury's in a dark room playing the piano, crying his eyes out. What did he say? Mama, I just killed the man, put a gun straight to his head. Like, just to start off with that, and just to pull the trigger, now he's dead, and he hits the mama, ooh, dun 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 dun, and just like, didn't mean to make you cry. Like, it's so much emotion balled into that. Just the intro of the record, and then he like dun 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 dun, like, and then they go into like this opera whole vibe of it, in which it goes along with the album's theme, A Night at the Opera. So like to go into this whole opera theme, and again the mixing on that is just amazing, and the time it probably took for them. I think I did see something before I even listened to this album and did this review, that it was how many takes it took for them to get those vocals right. Like, because if you listen to it, it's like Galileo, Galileo, like how high they go. Oh, like it's just, and it's only like a 4-man band. So like it's just crazy that they achieved that sound with just like 4 people, and that song is just amazing. And then after you go to the dark part and go to the opera part, and then it goes like dun 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 dun. Like it just breaks into this amazing classic rock record. And I just see like Freddie Mercury like kicking down the door, like, oh, you thought you can, like just going off, and just like liberation. And it's just, that song is one of the greatest records of all time. And then to just bring it back down at the end, to calm everything back down, is back to him just at the piano, man. Fucking amazing, bro. Like, it's not much I can say about it. I know I just said a lot. I just said everything, but I didn't say anything. God Save the Queen is the last record. It's an instrumental record. Just to close out the album, it sounds, what I got from it and what I read was just that, like, it's one of those songs they would play at the end of the show. like even prior to making this album. Like it was just to close out the show when they take their bows, and I think it was just a great record and instrumental to have, like for this concept album of a night at the opera. Like everybody takes the bows. That was a great performance, and they closed the really last song was Bohemian Rhapsody. You can't really put another song after that. Like that song is just so epic. It's hard. And I'm pretty sure, like, I wanted to see people's faces when they first heard that Bohemian Rhapsody in the 70s and first time ripping the vinyl open. Or was 8-Tracks out back then yet? Probably 75. 8-Tracks probably was out. And just to hear that and just, yo, what was that? Like, you can't really go into another song out there. So I think it ended perfectly. Let me get into my best songs. Best songs, I'm going to go with Bohemian Rhapsody, Love of My Life, and Death on Two Legs. I just like them shitting on their ex-manager. Worst song, I'm going to go with Good Company. Not a bad record at all, but I really enjoyed everything else. Like, I enjoyed that the least, if I could say that. Best line, you will remember when this all blows over and everything is all by the way. When I grow older, I will be there at your side to remind you how I still love you. I just thought that was dope that he said that. And that was in Love of My Life. So like, for him to say that is just, I just think that was pretty fucking amazing. As far as like rating, fucks given, I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. I can't go below that. Like this album is just, I can see why it's classic. I can see why it's their magnum opus. Let's wrap this up. To wrap this up, recap, close it out, conclusion. This album is fucking amazing. I'm fucking pissed that it took me so long to listen to this whole album. I think there was no skips on this album. I think it's high energy. I think every vocal was perfect. I think every instrument was perfect. I think the mixing and mastering was perfect. I think the production was just perfect. Everything about this album is just perfect. I love the idea. I love the concept. Fucking just dope rock pop album. It's just amazing. Again, it's one of those albums I would have loved to have seen perform live. Like when I look at that, like the movie or the live footage of that concert where it's just like a sea of people and like Freddie Mercury's like in the white tank top. Like they just had to experience something that was just never seen before. And yeah, I just wish I would have seen that. Only thing, it was probably out this album, but like I would also love to see like "We Are the Champions, my friend." Imagine seeing that live, like with a crowd of people. I know that wasn't on this album, but just imagine seeing that. Yeah, but great fucking album. Glad I had the chance to review it. Glad I listened to it finally. I think that's pretty much it. Let me know some of your favorite records on the album. Is this your favorite Queen album? Is there another Queen album I should check out? But this one is pretty fucking, I don't know. This one might be, I haven't listened to anything else, but this one might be the one. I don't know if I can listen to another one after this one, how great this one is. Leave your comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 500. Hopefully by the time this drops, we'll be at 500. 500 subscribers. And we're just going to keep going. If we get 100 every month on the pace that we're going, we'll be by, like, in a year, we'll be at, like, 1,200. So let's just keep going. And that's it. But as always, fuck this review. I'm Tatum. Peace.